Hello, everyone. I can see everybody joining in already. It's good to have you all on. I know you've missed me. I've missed you too. I know. It's been a while, but I'm here. I'm here, and I'm going to be talking to Farmer George. Farmer George, a U.S. veteran, a lawyer. He's like, no, I'm going to be called Farmer George because he wants to do farming, and he chose to do soursop. And I'm like, Farmer George, why soursop? What's so about soursop? And he's like, Denta, that is the $1 billion opportunity. And I'm like, If you haven't watched my interview with Farmer George, where I actually go to the farm to pick out the soursop, break it in half, and actually eat it. I had an amazing experience. And I think one of the things that I want to share with you guys is that you can have that same experience. We want you to hear about this session, how we invested and how you can invest, but also seeing, I always say, is believing. And so we want a lot of you to be able to come to Ghana and have that experience. And so it's something that we have created with Farmer George. Farmer George, it calls it what? Accra Beyond, Ghana? No, it's not Ghana Beyond Aid. It's something else. He named it something and I can't remember. I'm gonna have to bring him on to tell me. But it's good to see you guys. Please let me know where you are watching me from today. Where are you? I see Corey's on. I know she's in ATL. I see Miss Jean. I see Diane. I see Janet. I see a whole lot of you. Guys, where are you watching me from today? Are you in Accra? Are you in Canada? Are you cold somewhere? Because I am hot somewhere. Where are you? Tell me where you are, guys. I would love to know where you are. Jackson, Mississippi. Okay. How is the weather there? Barbados. Hey, I'm missing Barbados. I am missing the Caribbean. Okay, Diane's in the UK. So that means the weather is like up and down. You really don't know what tomorrow's going to bring. That is the UK for you. Currently in the States, but back in Ghana in June. Yes. I want to make sure that all of you join before I bring on Farmer George. I know I love soursop too. I think George made me love soursop even more. And just, I my father as well, from Farmer George. It's, when we talk about the health benefits, it is real. Tel Aviv. Okay, Miss Jean, hi, from Tel Aviv. Oh, you're in the UK. Okay, B-Star. Okay, how is it there? Yes, I hope that I have everybody on. You guys ready? Give me a thumbs up if you're ready. Ready for me to bring on Farmer George. New York City. Okay. Okay, I just had soursop the first time in Ghana last month. Covers face. That is not good, Corey. You need to be. I know you love your mango though. I understand you love your mango, so it's fine. It's okay. But try and eat soursop more often. Okay, I see the thumbs up. And when you see Farmer George, he's going to have obviously soursop in the background. You're just going to see his head. And there he is. You're just going to see his head. Did I tell you? Farmer George.
Family.
How are you?
I'm good, Lady Denta. How are you doing?
I'm blessed. Thank you. It's such an honor to have you again on my show, or on the Gooba platform this time, should I say. But it's good to have another conversation talking about, that $1 billion fruit. When we talk about the $1 billion fruit. But first, tell us a little bit about yourself. I know you're a veteran, a lawyer. Tell us, what you do in the US and why you decided to expand, come back home, because this is the Diaspora Network. Why did you decide to come back home at the time that you did and to set up the soursop and other things that you've set up?
Hello, my dear sister, Lady Denta. Good to see you again. This time, I'm not that sure to hand you by Soursop, but it's good enough. I guess you get the feeling. Anyway, thank you for what you're doing, and you and the Guba Diaspora Network. Fantastic job. We appreciate all the wonderful work you're doing, and appreciate you putting this forum together. Hello, if you can see my head, and then try not to be too distracted, but we needed our Soursop in the background, so if you've seen any prettier sub than what you're looking on the screen, let us know in the comment section. I bet you haven't. Anyway, like you said, I'm Farmer George. The full name is George Eduhini. From Ghana, born and raised there. I think I left Ghana. It's been almost 29 years ago. Joined family in the U.S. The trajectory went U.S. Navy, travel, saw the world, and then from there, school, and then got into the bar, became an attorney. I currently, my day job, I work for Department of Homeland Security as a customs attorney, and that keeps me busy enough. And then about 2017, just on the website, on TV, I saw a presentation on soursop. Did some little research, and I realized it's a fruit that we all grew up in. Now, let me say this: I did not introduce Ghanaians to soursop. No, I've had comments and say, "Well, it's like yeah." Because soursop is a household tree, most people have it. Some have chopped the ears down. Now they are trying to grow it back. But what we've done over the years since 2017 is that we've made it possible for people to believe that, yes, you can commercialize soursop. And there are many non-traditional tree crops in Ghana, cash crops. We have cocoa, our dominant tree crop. Then you have your shea, what's the name? The shea butterwort. You have neem and others. But I have picked a few select non-traditional tree crops, and soursop is our flagship what's the name product now, and later on in the future we can introduce others. But soursop, as you have known, has become a huge superfruit in the food and beverage industry for all its medicinal and nutritious benefits. I think you all probably know more than I will ever know what benefits it has. So I'm not going to delve into that. But 2017, we started with a prototype, 450 seedlings, and from then we've grown to now to the couple of thousand, over 8,000 trees planted across 4 fields, and we've gone beyond the actually producing fruits. Now we want to get into the actual production of soursop related products. So I'm happy to speak to you on this forum, share with you the do's and don'ts, more or less the scars that I have actually come to bear from our little journey here and where we are today. And hopefully soon we can all be part of a supply chain where you can go to the store, pick up a juice, any product from juice, leaves, and I'm happy to announce the first time that through the Guba network, there's another individual who does neem oil that we collaborating to actually introduce soursop oils for the beauty industry. So, in a nutshell, yes, yeah, I dropped that on you, right? Yeah, thanks to the Guba network. Yeah, Doc, yes, yeah. So, we're excited. We're looking forward to it, and in due time, Doc will bring it up. I mean, he's the oils guy, and we collaborating again to make it work. So, briefly, that's the soursop journey for now. Yeah.
Okay. How is the global demand for soursop?
There's a shop down. I go get my fish, and every time I go there, I laugh. You see, I've seen it from $10 a pound, not a fruit, a pound. And then the last time I saw it was $15 a pound, right? And I look at the fruits there, and I doubt I will reject that on my farm. I'll reject it. I'll tell them, don't send it out. But that's the level of quality. The global demand is huge. We're talking about a product that you're selling for $10 a pound. I don't know what you sell for the UK, but I'm speaking from the US. And even in Ghana, we sell a fruit for farm gate price, 35 Ghana cedis, depending on, and that's just the cheapest end. So the global demand is just there. Now the question is, where is the supply, right? With all the huge demand and the people, why hasn't people filling the gap? Because soursop is not easy to cultivate. It's a very delicate fruit, and so to go through from nursing to actually producing and enjoying a good fruit is quite a challenge. And so I guess that's why a lot of people, especially in Ghana, haven't gotten into it compared to other traditional crops. So, but then the demand, indeed, yes, it's $1 billion industry, just like any other wellness product. So yes, it is out there. And I think if you go to any organic shop or any of your grocery store, the price on the fruit or on the juice or any other related product, if the leaves speaks for itself. So yes, demand is huge, and it's just about being able to have a quality product on the market.
Right. And where do you see the biggest market? Is it in pharmaceutical? Is it beverages? Or is it just exporting the fruit as it is?
Big pharma, I'm a little hesitant to speak on big pharma, right? So now, look, as we all say, or people have come to realize, you are what you eat, right? So my take is, if I'm going to eat a fruit or any product that will nourish my body, what do I have to lose? All right.
Yeah.
So from a fruit, let's say you all the vitamins or nutrients you're looking for, one source of fruit gives you what maybe a combination of 5 individual fruits can give you. All right. So when it gets in your body, if it heals your body, hallelujah, good for you. Now, I've seen literature and many things on what it does to cancer patients, being the leaves, fruit, and whatnot. I will leave that for the doctors and the science. My job is to produce the best for your nourishment, and so long as it helps with your wellness, great. Now, so soursop is unique because one, from the fruits, leaves, and as I just mentioned, to the seeds, you can have components and products from each part of the fruit or the tree. So be it the beauty industry for your oils, and I understand there's some anti-aging properties in there, and I want to get someone there. I hope there is one for growing your hair. We talked about this, but I'll leave that to Dr. Cote. So it's just across, and every now and then you have people send me it be a juice, and sometimes it's just a soda. Say, hey, do you know how much this costs? Kind of. So more as people get conscious of what we put in our body, the wellness and stuff, that's when these superfruits are coming to the fore. And the jury is out on it. I think soursop is one of the toppest, or one among the top superfruits that one can lay their hands on.
Absolutely. And okay, so if I'm in the diaspora and I want to invest, can I invest 500,000 or $500 or $5,000 or $10,000 to start my soursop business? What is the capital needed to actually start?
And that's where, again, kudos to Lady Dentar, the diaspora, Guba Diaspora Network. People in the diaspora, we're already coming to Ghana to have a good time. We're connecting, right? We come December, various times, people have relocated, and you want to invest in something. Agriculture, whatever, pick your poison or your choice of plate. Now, I will not sit here in this family here and try to glamorize starting a soursop business or any agricultural business. It's a lot of patience. Can you do it? Yes, I have done it. Now, it's taken over 7 years. We're still learning or more. Here. Now, again, you have from what? Do I have the land? Do I have this? Who's going to do it? So can you do it? Yes. But then do you necessarily have to start planting from day one? If you have the land, by all means, I'm happy to help. I have some friends in Cape Coast, diaspora brothers, some from South Carolina, North Carolina. They have land. We helping them do their seedlings and things that we did wrong or we didn't know. I'm passing that to them, so they don't have to go to the same place. Now, and then the others where it's like, no, I don't want to be on the field, but I just probably want to be able to visit, come to the field, enjoy the fruit trees, and know that when I get a juice, anything, ice cream in the shop, maybe my money contributed to producing that. Be part of, buying more or less, okay, grow what you eat what you grow, but more like buy what you've invested in or kind of thing. So there's that also avenue as far as we're concerned. Now, so specifically to answer your question, can you do it? Yes, you can. Now, is it that a walk in the ballpark, just like any other, commitment? It's not easy, especially at great with all the uncertainties and stuff. But by all means, if you have the land, if you're listening to me, you have the land and you want to test the field, please, I will speak to you and then we'll, help you to avoid some of the pitfalls. However, if you want to be part of produce for me, as I want to put it, produce for me phase, yes, I think we are that space. And yes, of course, just like with any public industry or organization, you can at some point get in and based on your strength, what you put in and what based on your return. So yes, there's those opportunities there. But I think in your intro, what you mentioned, for us, it's a family as a diaspora family, and it will mean a whole lot different to you, better to you, if you actually on the field. So if you're sitting there and say, well, I'm going to write a check, I'm going to invest in, well, the first bar you would have to visit and come and enjoy your own Soursop fruit. And then you know where you are putting your money and then it actually speaks to you. So yes, there's opportunities across individually on your own. If you want to do it on your own, sure. If you also want to join what we're doing and be part of it, yes, we are ready to talk to you and then bring on board what your contribution is across board.
Okay, so there's two things. There's one that you can help people set up if they want to set up, right?
That's correct.
There's a second thing where if they want to invest in what you are already doing, they can be an investor. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Okay. And you're already helping brothers and sisters in Ghana set up already. So you're doing some in Cape Coast. And does it matter the area? How do you find the right area to actually produce soursop? Can you plant it anywhere?
So not everywhere in Ghana. So, in Ghana per se, all our soil is very fertile, right? It's fertile, listen. But then for certain crops, and I would say you have to speak to an agronomist, you do your soil testing, have an agronomist, okay, I have this land here, what am I going to do? Let me give you an example. There's a partner who's, he has about 1,000 acres of land in Akusi. When you go to Akusi, they have mango across there, kind of thing here. To do soursop, you have to do some soil testing to make sure whatever deficiency you have in the soil. So when you're applying your organic fertilizers, you compensate for whatever is lacking in it, right? So outside, maybe don't go plant soursop at Labadi Beach, please. At the beach, it's not going to do well, right? But other than that, for most all the areas that you can grow your tropical cash crops, cocoa, what's the name? Cashew, mangoes, oranges, and whatnot. Yes, soursop will also do well in those areas. But again, whatever you do, now we have to be more scientific. Whatever you do, you need an agronomist, test your soil, get a team together, assuming that you have a land that's devoid of any litigation. Because again, look, I'm sure, I know Guba has done some presentation on land acquisition in Ghana and whatnot. So yeah. Hopefully your land is not free of litigation, so you don't plant thousands of trees and somebody go chop it down and say, hey, you can't do that. So there are some assumptions in there.
Okay. So what are the biggest risks people need to be aware of before investing in soursop? You've been through the process. You know the challenges that you faced when starting out. What are some of the risks that people need to know before investing?
One, you have to be ready to be present, right? To be present in a sense, if somebody presented a land to you and said, "Hey, we've gotten you this 5 acres of land and you can plant here," first you have to land. So let's work on the presumption that your land is free of litigation, right? Then the next part,
Somebody says there's an echo. Can everybody
I
hear us? They said there's an echo. I'm not sure if it's coming from me or
I
just
don't have. I don't have any system in my background, so
there's not you haven't logged on twice anywhere. Just check your. I haven't.
Let me see. No, I haven't. I have one window open.
Just one? Okay.
Just
Okay.
one.
Sounds fine. Okay. No echo here. Okay. All right. Please continue.
Okay. I think we're talking about the challenges. So beyond the assumption you have a land free of litigation, you have a team, a scientist, and agronomist, you've tested the soil, you make sure you have seeds. Please don't do what I did. I remember in our interview, I mentioned to you when I started, I actually bought seeds here from the US to Ghana, and not a single seed germinated. You don't need to do that. Make sure whatever seed that you are nursing has to be at least not more than 45 days old. That's when they are most viable. Okay. You do that, and then you have to be ready to, we
lost you. You said no more than 40 what?
No more than 45 days.
45 days, okay.
Yes, for viability. I mean, ideally, so you have, let's say you bought Soursop fruit, and even if you plant in your backyard, after 10 days when it's dry, you can plant. If you have seeds sitting on the shelf, like it happened to me, I don't know how long it was sitting there, but we know for probably a couple of months, it's not going to be viable. It's not going to germinate. So the lesson there, don't buy seeds outside, unless you know the source. Maybe I think we had somebody from Barbados. If you get in your seeds and you in Ghana, no more than 45 days for you to start planting. Then you're going to have better success from your seeds than letting it sit there maybe a couple of months. So that's that point. Now, again, you also want to be sure that you monitor your trees. All right. I've seen people do all kinds of things on the trees, and then they grow so tall beyond 6 feet, and that's not healthy. It doesn't help for you to harvest eventually when you harvest. By the way, if I haven't said it, growing soursop from seedling to actual harvesting of fruits will take between 3 to 4 years. Now, we've worked out working with my agronomists in my team. We've tested out, and we have I think now it's about 60 trees that we've monitored, and based on whatever practices we did, now they are fruiting almost 2.5 years now. So that's something that now, if I'm reaching out to someone, we are not, Guba family, we are nice. So we share, we don't let people suffer through this. And so we will share that information, and then we'll save you. But ideally, 2 to 3, 4 years max, you will see some fruits coming up.
Okay. Someone says, Miss Taki says, what is the minimum budget needed to invest in your plantation? In my
plantation. Oh, goodness. All right. So I'm hesitant, and I'm stand by it. Now, let me be very honest here. So again, how much are you hoping your return on investment? How much return on investment are you looking forward to? All right. I'm answering the question with a question. So again, if we're having that conversation, we'll have to, we open books to show you what we've done, the commitments that we've done to get where we are and where we're coming to. So the minimum budget, I'll say, if you put in 5 Ghana cedis, then your return will be 5 Ghana cedis in maybe 6 months, 1 year. So it's a community where we are, and then I've said it to you when we met on the farm. We have some values we want to stick to, and we want to make it a community-owned industry. All right. So to your question, whatever your strength will allow you, and then you know your expectation. All right. So if you want to put in $500, 500 Ghana cedis, then we sit and then we open and let you know what this is the expectation, and this is what your 500 Ghana cedis, 500 euro, $500, whatever that amount may be, that the return on it would be. But yes, at any given whatever level that you're comfortable and you want to be part of the community.
Okay, so Miss Taki, I will send the Google email address to you, and we'll link you up with Farmer George. I'm sure he has a deck of what you can invest in and what the amounts can be, so that you can have a look at that. But what I like about what Farmer George is doing is that when he mentions about the community, it's a real community. So there is a spot which I loved, where he's created this beautiful spot where you can hang out with friends. They do fresh food, catfish, tilapia. I mean, the whole 9 yards. He's also building accommodation for people that want to come and stay at the place. So it's a full community that he is building. And so there is a large investment opportunity when it comes to that. So I will be sharing our email address for anybody that is interested.
And Taifa May, so that experience is what you're looking for. Ghana Beyond Accra.
Ghana Beyond Accra. That was it. Oh,
yes, yeah, Ghana Beyond Accra. And we tested the waters with the first Soursop Fest, and in the future, people in the entertainment industry and other fields too, we want to be able to maximize that and have a whole festival where we celebrate that kind of Soursop and what other things that comes with. So yes, the Ghana Beyond Accra experience on the farm.
Yes. I had an amazing experience. Honestly, I didn't want to leave. It was so nice. Met new friends, new people, and we just really, really vibed. I think it was 2 nights that we stayed. So his farm is based in Sunyani. Is it Sunyani?
It's an hour away from Sunyani. Sunyani is the capital of Bono. So from Sunyani to the farm is about 1 hour, 15 minutes drive.
1 hour, 15 minutes. And what's the name of the place?
So the biggest town is Brekum, but precisely it's called Jinejine, where the farms are.
Jinejine, yes. Jinejine. I had an amazing time in Jinejine. So, okay, somebody says it would be great to put an email up here so some of us can reach out. Yes, you can reach out to us, info@google.co.uk. We will put you in touch with Farmer George for the investment opportunity. So that is the email. Okay. What is the estimated cost to clear and plant an acre of land? So when you were starting out, to plant an acre of land, how much did you spend, Farmer George? Just give us an idea.
2017, to clear an acre of land was about 60 Ghana cedis. Now, to clear an acre of land is about 350 to 400 Ghana cedis. An acre of land, all right? And so you go through the process, clear an acre of land, and then seedlings. I think on the open market, Soursop seedling sells between 15 to 20 Ghana cedis per seedlings. Now, in the Guba family, if we are nursing seedlings for you, it will now be that open market price. We will help you out, and it won't be the prevailing market price. Now, one of the things what will happen is that if, let's say, you have a land out, I don't know which part of Ghana area, but then I advise that we actually do the nurse the seedlings on your farm. Because logistics, if we nurse seedlings for you, then you have to transport, let's say, 500, 1,000, and you're paying more. So if you are trying to do it as we've done for others, we give you the seeds, we give you the guidelines, and make sure you have what it takes to do it. So, but to specifically to that, your question now is about between 300 to 400 Ghana cedis to clear an acre of land. So we're looking about what? That's about how many? About $50 or maybe less, or 40, maybe 35, 30, let's say 30 to $35. Yeah, $40. Yes, to clear an acre of land. Yes. But when you clear land, right? You clear land, and then you do the, we still do the bush burning stuff, because you don't want to use a heavy machine to plow a field of land. When you do that, you clear the top rich soil, then you have to replace it. So as rudimentary as it seems, like the slash and burn, how we clear land, slash and burn. When you do that and you burn the cleared, it retains potassium, all these other things to help. And so I'm not a big fan of using the heavy machines to clear lands. If you are, then you still have to replace it. So that's just an individual's choice.
Okay. We're going to be going through the questions. So what is the plant population per acre? I have the land from 100 acres of land.
I recommend, from experience, you do about 120 trees per acre. And I will tell you, Soursop, among the tree cash crops, you have tree to tree, all things being equal, you have the highest yield on return, even more than cocoa. Don't get me wrong, cocoa has its place, right? Now, let's do some math. If you have 120 trees on an acre, 3 years you harvest. So let's use one tree. So Soursop, you have between 9 months. You can harvest trees, fruits 9 out of the 12 months. We are working into bridging to make sure we can have all year round. That's another story. But a tree, well, again, there's a lot of assumption here, but let's use some basic stuff here. A tree can yield you between 40 to 70 fruits a season. So take, let's say your tree yielded sellable or good fruit 40. Wherever you may be, whether in Ghana, in the US, do your conversion. And if you're going by the $15 per pound, not a fruit, or you want to scale it down to $10 per a pound of fruit, and the average fruit will be more than a pound. So multiply that by the number of fruits you harvest from a tree, sellable ones, and then scale it up to your 120 trees on an acre. And I think you put 100 acres and then do your math, right? Of course, there are other factors in there, but this illustration is to tell you it's not just, lip service and putting numbers there. Yes, it's $1 billion industry, and we all want a little piece of it. And then we hope Ghana or our destination will be the biggest dominant market player in this industry. So yes, I hope that answers the person with the nice 100 acres land in our front plains, and that's a beautiful area. We got scammed by a family member there, so I have a story to tell on. If we talk, I'll tell you. Yeah, before you go through this, so it's possible to do an estimated return on investment virtual 500 USD. I see a question. Is it possible to do an estimated return on investment in virtual farming? So again, virtual farming, yes, you're sitting there. Let me give you this 500 and I'll come back maybe whatever time it is. And like as Dental said, we have a deck. So on that scale, yes, we will bring you into the community. Again, you should have visited. And we should see you with evidence eating our Soursop fruit, and then you deposit that investment in the community, and then we work out the details. Yes, fine. Do I see? I'm seeing $2 and then cedis, but I think we're going with the $500, not 540. What? 5,460 Ghana cedis, not the dollars, right?
I think this is that the equivalent? Maybe?
Yes, that's the equivalent. Yes,
that's the equivalent. Yes.
Yes, it's possible. The short answer, yes, it's possible.
Okay. Wanda.
Hello, my dear sister Wanda. I know from experience the fruit is a cancer fighter, but so are the leaves. What can be done to market the leaves? I think I know this wonderful sister. Now,
Yeah, she's on the Christian platform, our favorite one.
yes, yes. Yeah. I think she owes me a visit, or she owes us a visit, and she's
She
promised
does.
whenever she visit
Yes.
Ghana she would. Now, with the leaves, we supply leaves. Individuals, some get 100 pounds, 100 kg, um, for their individual use, and others are using, yes. So two ways: either people get the raw leaves that you take. I have some here in the States. I drink my tea, I give some to friends. So just the raw ones where you boil for your tea, or in the future, we're moving forward, we want to package it again like any other green tea on the market. Part of the investment opportunities that is out there that we want to be part of. That one of these days you go to the market and you pick soursop leaves from City Fresh, you'll be buying your own product. So yes, um, two ways: either the raw leaves, which we pride ourselves in producing some of the best on the market, and then the ones that we can crush, put it in tea bags or powdered form. So those are the areas that my dear sister Wanda we're looking to do going forward.
Okay, Dennis has put a question up.
The biggest markets: pharmaceuticals, beverage. Well, um, anyway, from my experience, we get it from the hotels, from individual consumption, to their patrons. The pharmaceutical side, yes, we get in there, and again, as I said, I'm hesitant to speak on that. I'm not a doctor, but yes, there's so many studies going on. People are trying to use Soursop for diabetic patients, and more like some sweet additive or add nice to, instead of in alternative to sugar. We're exploring that, and we've done some work with Ghana, the food research, and so there's a list of stuff like we did. They actually produce a syrup, just like any syrup you have on the market, and so that would be even a better natural source. So the pharmaceuticals are there, and then the beverage industry. There's a company in Jamaica that produces wine. We work with a guy in Ghana who thinks we can make beer from soursop. Well, I can't wait to drink his
Oh,
soursop beer.
wow.
Yes. So, and that's what we're looking at again. We envisaging a community like you go to a Napa Valley where you visit your, winery. So you come to City Fresh Farms and you have your fruits. You enjoy everything from your ice cream, your wake up to your tea, whatever that you can think of. Harvest your own fruit, enjoy your walnuts, and then if there's a beer, sure. If there's wine, sure. So that is the industry that we are thinking of. The days of us just always sending raw produce, as delicate as this, across borders and just getting returned products with added value, and we pay a bigger premium on it. I think we, in this community and what we're doing and the conversations that's going on, we're trying to change that narrative as far as people in our community coming home, spending their money. We want them to control the supply chain as far as this cash crop is concerned. What
Okay.
is it? Read, what is a post-harvest processing prior to export, or you selling raw fruit? First disclaimer: we are not sending any fruits to the United States as we speak. I'm aware there's some raw produce going to the UK and some regional markets. Now, we do not do anything to our fruits, the raw fruits, to before we export or we send it outside. So what happens is we try to harvest matured fruit, let's say 2 3 days interval. So when you travel from the farm, if it's going to UK or any other destination, within 48 hours, it will get to the destination, and the end user should receive a ripened or good product to consume. So we're not adding anything to the fruit itself for any export. Of course, when we start producing juice, and the goal is we will have juice on the shelf this December. That will still be what's the name, natural juice.
And I've tasted the juice. Okay, it tastes so good. And this is a testing trial of the juice, but it tastes really, really good.
Would you consider drop shipping options for individuals willing to promote your products? Yes, we do. Again, I should add. So, for instance, if you're on this call and you want to be an off-taker, sure, we can work out. We've gone through the Ghana authorities, and we are cleared from all the agencies to export outside. What you have to do from your destination point, you have to make sure you can receive and clear whatever you're receiving from us. Because when fruits leave our end in pristine condition, we don't have control over it. So that end. So yeah, if you're interested, we'll bring you consignment, and you can test your market. So yeah, that's available option.
Okay.
What is the buying price from outgrowers per kilo as of now? Now, we sell farm gate price, Ghana quotation, 35 Ghana cedis per kilo. I know that's the cheapest on the market, because and the best produce for the quality and the price. I mean, it speaks. We take pride in what we've done. So that is it. I can't speak for others now. I tell you, I think last month there were a few people with a couple of trees, 10, 20 trees, and they started saturating the market, and people were discriminating, why are we selling this? And then they'll go buy those fruit, they open it, and they come back, and so it sucks. So I know what we are selling for, and it's below the market price, but it averages. Ghana prices are not fixed, but we try to be below the prevailing market price. Can you spell the location of the farm?
That is Jinjin is Jinjin, right?
Yeah, Jin. So I'm gonna Brekum West District. Bono region. I hope I got. All right. So for geographic location in Ghana, look, from Accra to the farm should be top 5.5 hours, but we know road network and stuff. So you go to Kumasi, you go to Sunyani, and then after Sunyani, an hour, 15 minutes, and you'll be on any of the. We have now 4 different locations. You will be on at least 2 or 3 that you can pick fruit and eat anytime. On the other hand, you can catch a flight from Accra to Sunyani. I think it's less than 40 minutes, and then you drive there. So depending on your preference and how you want to explore the country, that's what we call Ghana Beyond Accra. Come experience Ghana outside Accra, and we make it worth your travel. So, but if you're listening to me on this, I'm sure we'll have a roster. If you're on this network, on this webinar, you plan to visit, please let me know. We will host you. You make your accommodation, and whatever that you harvest there. I don't know how much. Well, of course you can. We will not let you carry more than, but at least up to 20 kg on this webinar. Lady Dental, take note. On this webinar, if anybody calls and say, I'm going to City Fresh Farms to visit, they will leave with not less than 20 kilogram worth of fruits. And that's on us. So,
wow.
Yeah.
We like that. This is the community that we're building. So, for those that you are not part of the Goober Diaspora Network, I would suggest that you also join the Goober Diaspora Network, where, we have full access to Farmer George every single day. So please.
That's true.
Yeah, please join the network as well if you haven't already done so. But again, I will share our email address. It's info@gooberawards.co.uk. I will share it again on the platform and we will do a journey there. Let's get a group of us to go down. George, when are you next here?
I'm first being home, trying to be home late July into maybe the second week in August.
Okay, so let's do something around that time. I saw somebody was
Sure.
going to be here in July as well.
Okay.
So those that want to see Farmer George and the farm, we can do late July. If not, and you are around and you want to go see the farm, we could also arrange that for you as well, where you can meet his team on the ground. So we can definitely do that. You have another question on the screen.
Yeah, I have seen your Soursop and it looks so healthy and large compared to others. What do you do different? Is it the secret sauce? Well, the secret sauce is the energy we put in it. No, but the I take pride in what we've done. We've gone through a whole lot of things, and sometimes I have to say no to my agronomists. We're not doing this, and they say, "Well, it meets international standard," but we don't do anything different other than good farming practices. And we've been blessed with a good soil, and we just stick to the what. So I want to eat what goes out, all right? And so that's been the whole point with everything that we're producing is something that I want to eat, I want to enjoy. So I don't know what others are doing. I know when I go to the grocery stores, I see it and say, okay, why would somebody pay money for it? But that's what they have. That's what they have available. But thank you for noticing that. And if I guess your next supply, if you get it from us, we'll add some extra sauce. So just send me a text. I appreciate you enjoying it. I don't know if you've tasted it or you're just looking at the pictures, but it tastes as good as they look, maybe a bit better.
It better, way better than what it looks. Way better than what it looks. Um, let's see what other. There's been some questions. I want to make sure I don't miss out any questions. We've done the post harvest. What region? Okay.
So, what is an investment if we are not trying to grow it ourselves? So the question, so what is the investment if we are not trying to grow it ourselves? I think then you are joining the produce for me stage, and I'm buying what my money is invested in. So last year when I started with Lady Dental, the goal was to have fruits, juice. It's an empty one, but who knows? Probably be better than this looking. But our goal is to put on the market shelves, the best source of juice in the world. Period. We're just not negotiating that. If you are interested in investing, we are at this point. You join more production, be it from juice, leaves, um, the oil for cosmetics. So that's the stage we are. And again, one of the caveats, please forgive me, but you would have to come visit. You would have to come visit. We would have to see you on the farm in the forest of soursop trees, enjoying it, and then you put your money where your journey has been.
I love that. I love that. Okay.
Uh, all right. Does this crop grow everywhere or some specific areas? Just heard you mention good soil. Well, my definition of good soil in this case is any area in Ghana that you can grow cocoa, mango, orange, you can grow soursop there. Um, so that's the definition. And in the tropics, it's a tropical fruit, just like in the Americas, South, um, North America, South. No, not North. Some part of North America, I think Florida and some sunny areas, but usually in the South American countries and in the Caribbean. So yes, more the tropics. So if that's answers and type of cell, it has to be. I don't want to generalize. It would be best if soil is tested, but any area that you can grow any of your tree crops, it will be it's good for Soursop. What are the certifications needed for export to Europe, UK, and the USA? Let me work it backwards. USA, the only country at this point from the Caribbean is Grenada. Is the biggest market to Grenada. The rest from Mexico and some other place. Now in Ghana, we do not export to USA for personal conflict. I still have to keep my day job, so we don't export to UK. I can't speak to it. Europe, I can't speak to it. What I know is you do your certifications in Ghana, and then for the global market, you have to get global gap. Other certifications that meet international markets. So global gap, but Ghana, you have to go through the Plant Protective Directorate. They certify it. When if you're about to ship something, the guys at the airport will inspect, and frequently they will come to the farm to make sure it's tested. Again, all these certifications is addressing the source and make sure your produce meets international standards. And for most part, our produce, not just my produce, but products from the country meets those standards. Oh, what is the price of George's product per bottle? Lady Denta, did we agree on the price last time we met?
I think we mentioned the price, so we were trying to go through prices. But I can't remember.
To that question, we have not priced it. We didn't price it last year, and if I sit here and give you a price, by the time you see it on the shelf, may be different. So, but let's say you can afford it. Forgive me, I don't have it, but yeah, but we will have a price, and I think the Guba community will have samples to taste before it hits.
Absolutely. So please do join the network so that you can be one of the tasters of the product. And then he's going to be doing a survey of, what we think would be a good price to also put on this magical fruit. So Corey says, to be clear, do we have to visit the farm first in order to invest? Or can we just get the deck and invest? What is the process for you, farmer?
Thanks for that question. It was just you are highly encouraged to visit the farm and be part of where your investment is going. But you'll see. We'll share with you the deck, and if you haven't had the time to visit, you can go ahead and invest. But we are highly encouraged to visit and enjoy the farm assets. That's the part where my Guba team and my guys come in, right? Yes, what is the next step if you want to invest in virtual farming with Farmer George's farm after we visited the farm?
Yes, so we will share the deck, and there'll be a conversation with Farmer George on the next steps. But the team at Guba will connect you as soon as this session is over. If you are interested in moving things forward, please do email us on info@gubarewards.co.uk, and we will start the process for you. Please send in your last questions. We will be wrapping up very soon. So please do send your questions so that we can ask Farmer George. Okay, let me. Okay, what does scalable soursop business model actually look like to scale?
All right, so let me use us as an example. We have land this year we're not planting outside of shout out to Big Mac. He's the largest soursop seller in the United States, in New York, from Grenada, Big Mac. And he gave us some seeds we nest, and that's the only seedlings, I think about 500, 600 that we are planting. Why we are not planting now? Because we think we have with over 8,000 trees, with maybe 4,000 to 5,000 producing, we need to be able to contain what we have now. Now, after you've done your proof of concept, we're beyond that, and you have a hand managing from pesticides, insecticides, whatever that is going on in the farm, and you have a good hand on it. So if you started with the person that posts, they have 100 acres. If you started off, let's say, with 10 acres, and then you have a hang on it and you have better understanding of what you're doing, then you increase to your next 40, 50 based on your financial strength. From 100, of course, you could go to 500, 600. So again, demand from the market, but most importantly, making sure scaling up. It doesn't do you any good if you have 100 acres of farm and you harvest and you can barely salvage 200 or 500 pieces of fruit. So I would say scaling up would be more having had a good grasp of what you're doing. I think with any business, especially in agriculture. So it's just knowing that, okay, now we have an understanding and this is workable. So then you can actually duplicate to the other acreage that you're increasing. So I hope that helps.
Yes, that does help. Thank you very much. What infrastructure gaps still need to be solved in this industry? What infrastructure gaps still need to be solved?
Well, let's start with logistics. Again, beyond logistics, infrastructure. Again, now we want to talk about, let's say, moving of this delicate fruit. So, what refrigerated trucks, if you're going to move from point A to B, your juicing machine for production, be it for fruits, and then for leaves, and then again machine for your oils for the cosmetic side. But again, it's just having as far as scaling. Now, what we don't want to do and we haven't done is that a lot of industries, not to pick on anyone in Ghana, for instance, at a certain time they had a sugar processing factory. They had all the machines sitting there, but they didn't have the input to feed the machines. So the machines rusted. So infrastructure, we start from, for us, now we harvesting about a ton, about 1,000 kg a week. And we're going to increase. So we know whatever infrastructure we started with, if you're producing 1,000 bottles or whatever number of bottles a week, is sustainable. And then again, scaling, by the time you get additional trees fruiting, you can add more machines to your production. So again, you're just not wasting resources and letting infrastructure and machines pick up dust. What is the cost for your nursery? What is the cost for your nursery seeds per acre? So I recommend 120 seedlings per acre. If you then multiply it by, a seedling, if you buy it from the open market, the last time I checked, it's about 15 Ghana cedis per seedling, between 15 to 20. And that will be your cost, factory in clearing and whatnot. All right. But again, let me add this. Whatever you're doing at this level, you do not want to be dependent on just rain-fed, rains to will nourish your farm. You want to have your boreholes and other stuff to make sure you have all year round water system. So that's important as well.
So you need a water system. You can't just rely on the rainy season in June and May.
No, that won't cut it. On a commercial scale, that won't cut it. Definitely not. Yeah.
Okay.
Even for your nursery, you need constant water to nurse your seedlings in the nursery to a certain time, so they are healthy for transplanting.
Okay. What support exists from government or institutions for agribusiness investors?
And again, thanks to Guba, I was on a platform and we spoke to a gentleman as far as what is happening with the new government policies. He put out a lot of policies, and I think there are different sectors, areas that they've earmarked. And I think there are offices that you can walk to based on what the catchment area that you can get help from. For us, we're still in communication, talking to the powers that be. For instance, if terms are favorable, if you're getting, let's say, sourcing from the Exim Bank or whatever financial institution to help you scale up or get the necessary equipment. So, Lady Denta, with that, I think I would not go too much into it, but for us, it's been a community adventure, and we hope we've received some talks from people in government, and they are aware of what is happening. So when they reach out, we will meet them and try to do our best to create jobs in our community.
Okay. You have a question.
Would your agronomists be available for anyone who wants to grow for you, or you train an agronomist on the protocol? Well, I think from my recommendation, he's open to, if you are growing for yourself, I recommend, and then he will work with you. He said, now, let me say this. I gave seeds. I think I gave somebody about 5,000 seeds last year. And then he called me one day and I said, George, what's wrong? I don't understand. I said, why? I said, aren't you afraid I'm going to be your competitor? And I said, no. The pie is too big for me to eat alone, as we say in Ghana, right? So around those lines. So please, as far as you are part of the Guba Diaspora Network, you are family. If you're reaching out for resource, be it you are tapping into what we're doing or you're doing something on your own, I'm not one that feels you are a competitor or so I'm going to be stingy with information. So be it my agronomist or any person on my team or what I have learned, I'm more than happy to share freely without any reservation. So that's my commitment to this group.
Fantastic. Thank you so much for that. Okay.
Do we have different varieties? If yes, which is the best? Oh boy. Now, that's a very good and technical question. We're still working on it, and please reach out, and because our time is spent, and I'll divulge and share with you practically what we have done. But yes, there are varieties, and we finding out different types of seedlings and seeds from different regions and their yield. So please follow up, and we'll have that discussion. You are muted.
Sorry. Excitement is. I said, if you had to start again, Farmer George, and still do agriculture, would you still do Soursop, or would you do something else?
No, I will do Soursop all over again.
Wow.
All over again. Yes. Look, people will ask, why aren't you doing? They will cite many other things and stuff, but I think look, we've had other super fruits in the food and beverage industry, and but then Soursop, I think, is the next major super fruit in the food and beverage wellness industry. Now, if it's all well and good, how come people haven't done it? Because it's not easy. It's difficult. All right. It's taking a lot of pain, commitment, resource, burning your pocket to get to this beautiful fruit. But now we know we can do better. So if a member of the community want to do it, we'll save them the headache we went through. And also those that are part and want to scale to the next one, we are happy to bring on board. But no, I will not. It will be Soursop, and Soursop.
I love. Well, Farmer George, thank you so much for joining us. I know that we can speak for hours, but I know that you are in the US and you're still working. But as I mentioned to people, they can get in touch with us. They can join the Diaspora Network. That they can have full access to you, or they can email us, and we will direct them to you for more information on how they can invest in Soursop. I'm glad that you are giving the virtual farming aspect of things as well, so people that just want to invest and let you do the work, and then they get their return on investment, which is great. There are other things that people can invest in, like the trucks that you mentioned, right? They can invest in that truck that picks up the produce to Accra or to wherever destination. So there's lots of different avenues of investment that I see just talking to you today. If somebody just wanted to invest in the leaves, the
Sure.
boxing of the leaves and the producing of these leaves at high standard. There could be people that want to do just the juice, right? So there are different opportunities that you can invest in when it comes to that. So, George, I don't know whether you have any last words, but I'll leave the floor to you, and then I will conclude.
Oh, anyway, again, thank you, Lady Denta, thank you, the Guba Diaspora Network. It's a beautiful community, and as I share with you through the network, I've made good contacts, and we're in the process of working on oil together with a brother who is doing a fantastic job with his oils production. But in some, again, as Lady Denta said, we are open for whoever that is interested in, investing in Soursop, especially if you want to do your own or you want to join what we're doing along the value chain from production, supply, from fresh foods and whatnot. So this is just a conversation. You can reach us through the Guba network or directly my email. But most importantly, I encourage you all to do the Ghana Beyond Accra experience. Come visit us on the farm. And again, like I said, if you're on this network, and later on we'll probably expand it. If you visit, you walk away with no less than 20 kg fruit. I don't know what you're going to do with it. Maybe you juice some on the ground or whatever you do. But I wish you all well. Thanks for listening. And I look forward to see you in whatever endeavor you're in. I wish you all as well.
Thank you so much, Father George. Thank you for joining us. Thank you. Guys, I hope that you have enjoyed this session, and there's many more of these sessions that we're going to be having. Next month, we have the fish farming. For those who are interested, and that's another thing that actually Farmer George does. He does catfish farming as well on his farm. He's got a very big one, and that's where we got our fish from. And Friday, it was incredible. So there are opportunities in fish farming. As you know, Ghana, Africa, we consume a lot of fish. And so please join us. I think on the 19th of April, we'll be having the fish farming agriculture conversation as well. Also to let you know that also in April, we're going to be doing tomatoes. Now, I'm sure that you've heard the issue that is happening when it comes to our tomato industry. We were importing a lot from Burkina Faso, and Burkina Faso have said no more, no more. But we have had this conversation previously with Mavis, who is an expert when it comes to tomato farming. We had this conversation 3 years ago, and now she was like, look, we need to make sure that Ghana is producing our own tomato. We were shouting and raving about it, and today it's actually happening. And so we're going to be actually doing a training for people who want to do tomatoes. So the puree, the everything. So it's actually going to be a training session that she's going to be doing. So if you are interested in that, please, again, do email us, but it will be on the Diaspora Network website for those of you who are interested. And then we do have the Grow For Me. That is going to be happening every month, because we have a lot of requests from people that missed out on the Grow For Me. So Grow For Me, if you look on our Diaspora Network, when you click on events, it has the list of events that are happening throughout the year, and we're going to be having Grow For Me every single month. But yes, as I mentioned, we're going to be bringing you tomato, fish farming, and also cassava's on the pipeline as well. For those of you who are interested in cassava, cassava is used for paracetamol. Cassava is used for so many things, for ethanol. Like, the agriculture industry is so huge that we should not be joking with it, especially on the continent, because we have fertile land. Like, there's no way that we should be importing anything on the continent because of the type of soil that we have. Rice, be whatever, but we are still importing so much, and it doesn't make any sense. And that's why the Guba Diaspora Network wants to enlighten you all on these opportunities and have people who have invested in it to speak to you about it. So please, 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 please join the Goober Diaspora Network if you haven't already done so. This is the opportunity that we are giving people. And as George mentioned, he's met somebody on the platform that's now going to be doing the oils for him. This is how we grow as a community. Let us grow like, how the Jewish people do it, how the Indians do it. Let's have a community where we build on each other and share information. Sharing information is key. So, guys, again, thank you all so much for watching and for investing in this and coming online to share the time with us and time with Farmer George as well. So have a blessed evening, and hopefully we will see you soon. Thank you so much. And a big thank you to Corey, who is our face of agriculture, doing all of the amazing videos for us. We really, really appreciate you. Again, somebody that's on a platform that is just supporting the community. She's like, Dee, I want to support, and she's sharing this information. Please, if you have communities that you are in, share this information with them so that they can be a part of this. We want to make sure that this is going as far as it should. So if you have family groups, everybody's got that whole family group, right? Share it in your family group. Let them join and let them hear the information. Let them ask the questions. But lastly, do come on the farm. Seeing is believing. Sometimes we have to see it. I really do believe in you coming to the farm, you seeing what Farmer George has done. So it's not just nearsay or hearsay, but you actually experience what I've experienced, what he's talking about. So you see it and you're like, yes, I want to invest. Rather than, you not seeing and you just don't know, right? But this is an opportunity for you to come and do that. So again, thank you so much for watching. Please, again, email us, but do join the network. I'm sharing it again. Be your brother's keeper. Share the information and let's grow our community as we should. God bless you all and bye-bye.